There's a thing that's so real, and especially in our generation, called digital abuse. And this didn't exist for our parents.
All right, Debbie Ryan at Clever TV. Thanks for coming.
Of course, thanks for having me.
So you are here for a very specific reason, and it's because you've partnered with Mary Kay and are challenging teens to stand up against domestic violence and abuse and dating abuse. I was surprised to learn that this had a very personal tone for you.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think for me, originally taking the campaign was a decision of hearing facts, you know, which is that 1 in 3 teens will experience abuse in a dating relationship. And you hear, I continued to read these facts that Mary Kay brought to me, and Love is Respect had provided with the survey that they had been doing, and I started getting more and more involved in it and learning what a healthy relationship looks like and learning some of the warning signs of an abusive relationship. And when everyone thinks of abuse and relational abuse, they think of maybe physical abuse, which is 100% a very serious problem. And I think before we get to that point, there are a lot of warning signs of mental abuse, emotional abuse, and sometimes those things can play into your mind in a way that you didn't even realize. And so for me, upon learning as much as I have with Mary Kay and just wanting to make sure that all of my fans and friends were as educated as possible on this issue, the more that I realized that there were certain things in relationships in my past that were absolute warning signs that I ignored or that I didn't see. And so for me to realize that I was a 1 in 3, it made me realize that anyone could be a 1 in 3.
I was wondering if people in your life recognized it, because you said in another interview that you didn't really recognize it until 2 years later.
I've seen a lot that has been so beautiful and redemptive. And living in Texas, growing up in Texas, Mary Kay is a name that's synonymous with, I don't know, for me it feels like warmth. It feels like
totally.
I had, 40 moms, all of my mom's friends, right? And like my mom was off doing this or doing whatever, I had one or the other willing to pick me up from school or do whatever. And to me, it's about making people feel loved and beautiful and as like naturally as they can, as well as like empowering and strengthening and like entrepreneurship and heck yeah, like make money for yourself, do your thing. Like I love that. So that sort of empowerment in women is something that made me feel safe to be like, wow, I'm really strong right now, and there was a time where I wasn't. And there was a time where it was such a struggle just to feel like I was worth fighting for. And I would go on red carpets and people would be like, what's it like to you? And like, I admire this friendship and this relationship and whatever, and I didn't realize that I had such a warped view of certain things, and I'd allowed certain things to become okay. And so for me, talking about it has only reinforced with me how thankful I am for the healthy, beautiful relationships that I'm in now. It's helped me know which friendships even are worth letting go of. If it feels like it's constantly a fight, it's constantly dramatic, it's like emotionally exhausting to even think about hanging out with this person, you have to take a nap before. Like, maybe not a friend that it's worth spending all of your emotional energy on. These are all things that through working with Mary Kay and women coming up to me and hearing the most beautiful stories, it's like, there's redemption in this. But for us, it's like, if my redemption can be a preventative for people, that's the most beautiful thing ever to come out of something that broke me so much, but that I am so much stronger for having overcome. And I'm so, so thankful and glad that I didn't have to do it alone. And that's what I want to be for people, and that's what Mary Kay and I have decided to do with this campaign.
When I was doing research, I was surprised to learn some of the things that I didn't realize might be included under the umbrella. So texting people too much, like obsessive behavior.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, it's more than just physical abuse.
Which can be anything as much as demanding your phone passwords, being possessive, blowing up on you, and accusing you of things and lying. It's called digital abuse. And this didn't exist for our parents. Our parents that tell you how a man should and shouldn't treat you, or how someone in a relationship should and shouldn't treat you, a boy, your first crush, whatever. Our parents didn't deal with Instagram and text and people demanding, to see who they're texting and snapping and all these things. And so for us, it's kind of up to us to navigate. So what's so cool is, Love is Respect has a text in hotline. So all you do is you text in Love is to 22522. And you immediately they'll ask, are you in any immediate danger? Can you talk right now? Are you in a place where we can contact you back or not? Is that a thing that, and they don't. It's so anonymous, it's so safe, it's so confidential that even if you're looking for information for a friend who, you haven't seen them much since they started dating someone, and maybe that person doesn't like them spending a lot of time with friends and family and is trying to kind of isolate them, it starts to feel off and you start to feel like maybe there are some warning signs. Text in, be like, yo, listen, I have a friend, super happy for them. Is this right? Is this okay? Is this what's healthy? And more than anything, it's access to information. It's someone who knows what they're doing and can help.
Something you said about what does a healthy relationship look like.
Yeah.
When you have your first boyfriend or girlfriend, even if you have two parents that are together, which is rare,
yeah,
an example isn't the same as having it yourself, and how do you know what that looks like?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, and it's so interesting too because sometimes women feel like, oh, he's really possessive of who I talk to. He must really care about me. Oh, he's so proud that I'm his girlfriend that he doesn't want any other men talking to me. And that's a really fine line. And we've also had people reach out to us and be like, I didn't realize that this thing I was doing to my boyfriend or my girlfriend technically qualifies as digital abuse. I was, calling them 15 times until they would pick up just because, so that they knew that I was trying to get a hold of them. And it's like, all right, that's much. Let's work on balance. Let's work on healthy, respecting someone where they're at. And then just meeting in the middle and doing life together.
And you mentioned not noticing things. I read that 81% of parents don't think that dating violence or abuse is an issue for teens.
Yeah.
Which that's an astounding number. So how do parents, how do friends know? What are some warning signs?
Yeah, I think for me, a beautiful relationship blooms a beautiful heart, right? Mm-hmm. So if someone is in a love that's good for them, they will automatically feel stronger, feel more attractive or beautiful, feel confident to express the things that they believe even if they disagree with you.
Right.
I think for us, our friends and the hearts that we're closest to, if you look close enough, you'll always see what they're going through and how they are. If they're stressed, if they're tired, if they're anxious, they're afraid of letting you down or insecure, if they change a lot more times before they leave the house than they usually did. Maybe different voices are in their head saying different things. Maybe they're conflicted. And if it does have to do with the relationship, it's easy to track down and see. And if it doesn't, it's just you being a good friend. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask people how they are and how you can help. And we forget sometimes to ask our best friends and our daughters and whatever because we see them so much.
Because they're so, right. Thank you for using your voice for something great. And Mary Kay, I didn't realize, has raised over $50 million already. To date, and so definitely with you they're going to do a lot more. Can you give everybody that text hotline again?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's an awesome thing.
You can text LOVEIS to 22522, and that's for anything. That's for you asking questions about a friend, an immediate situation that you're in that you want help out of, or just links to more information. What's cool too is, marykay.com/don'tlookaway has all the information on it too, so you can just go check it out before you even want to text it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Click to the left to see which stars you forgot were in Disney Channel movies, or click to the right to relive Jennifer Lawrence's rise to fame on Throwback.